Step by step and little by little, computers have been gaining ground over human tasks. Let's take a look at 3 computers that shocked the world and might be signaling the end of the human reign. Hello Storyticians, are you ready to see these impressive machines? We have ordered them from least to most impressive, so be prepared. We start at number 3, probably the first computer that challenged the status of humans as the most complex and intelligent thing in the world. Some of you might already suspect that we are talking about Deep Blue. Its story is so impressive that we made a complete video about it. You can click the card in the upper right corner to watch that now or later. So why did Deep Blue make it on the list? Decades ago, times were different and computers were far less powerful and advanced compared to the ones we have today. Everyone had it clear that they could help humans with some tasks, mainly the most simple and repetitive ones. They were used in many research centers and companies. Yet, people didn't have enough reasons to believe that computers could be more intelligent than humans. Nevertheless, one group of people believed something different. They believed that you have to like this video to support our channel. Well, we would appreciate that. But where was I? Oh yeah, they were a visionary team within IBM. And it all started at Carnegie Mellon University when Thomas Anantharmon and Murray Campbell started a project called Chip Test. It was 1995, and the idea was to build the best chess-playing computer ever. Why chess, you might ask? Well, at the time, and even now, chess is considered a complex game that requires a high level of intelligence to play, and even more to play at a high level. For a computerized system to beat a master player of chess was the ultimate frontier for many. Some thought it was impossible. Others, like the IBM team, had it as their life's goal. Further in their journey, the team developed a system they called Deep Thought. The system was fed the best information and algorithms from computer and chess experts alike. Soon, it was destroying the competition. Deep Thought eventually evolved to Deep Blue, and it was supposed to be destined to beat the reigning champion of chess, Garry Kasparov. The man was a legend, a symbol of human intelligence. On the other hand, Deep Blue was a serious contender. The system was capable of processing 100 million moves every second. In their first encounter, Deep Blue surprised with an early win. The story was on everyone's lips, and Kasparov was shocked. The streak didn't continue though, as Kasparov won the next 3 games. 1 year later, in May 1997, the two played a 6-game match. Kasparov started strong, winning the first match. Deep Blue struck back and won the second. Kasparov resigned. Furious, he claimed that grandmaster chess players were controlling the machine. He came back and they drew the next match. Everything was tied. Kasparov represented human intellectual superiority. Deep Blue represented the potential machines had. Games 4 and 5 also ended in a draw. The last game decided everything. Kasparov decided to use an unorthodox approach to throw off Deep Blue. It didn't work. Deep Blue beat the world champion in only 20 moves. This marked a before and after in the history of computers. The potential computers had was way beyond what people thought, and Deep Blue showed that. Now to the next best computer program. The number 2 spot is taken by another computer system developed by IBM. Now, this computer came to fame about a decade later, after the game between Deep Blue and Garry Kasparov, and technology had improved a lot since then. Quick tangent, many of us believe that technology advances naturally and without stopping, but in reality, there are experts who are working on improving it every day. We thank them for what they are doing. Now to the story. IBM Watson was a computer that was being developed by an IBM team led by David Ferrucci. The name came from the founder and the first CEO of IBM, Thomas Watson. The challenge was different this time and much more complicated. At the time, people had seen smartphones for years now. Even simple computers were capable of beating top chess players. But there was yet another barrier that separated computers from humans: language. Computers were already great at simple tasks, which they could compute in seconds. Yet, computer systems couldn't understand human language as well as any human. In fact, there is a test called the Turing test that is based on this. The test is named after Alan Turing, who many consider the father of computer science and artificial intelligence. The test basically puts a computer through its paces by making it speak with the human. The Turing test goes like this. One person is designated as the judge, and he or she is to have a conversation with a human and a computer without knowing which is which. If the judge can't recognize with absolute certainty which conversation is being held with the computer and which with a human, the computer passes the test. But going back to IBM Watson, it not only had to understand human language, but thrive in Jeopardy while using it. If anyone doesn't know, Jeopardy is a game of trivia where players are asked to quickly answer the questions of the presenter. The more questions you answer and the more complicated they are, the more likely you are to win the game. So IBM Watson had to be able to understand human language just like humans do, then find the correct answer to the question in its database, and then say back the answer quickly. The challenge must have been humongous, yet years into the project, it was playing at the top levels of Jeopardy. In 2011, IBM Watson managed to play and beat champions Brad Ritter and Ken Jennings at the Jeopardy quiz show. This was once another breakthrough that computer science had and that many thought impossible. IBM Watson won the $1 million prize over the two other professional players and previous champions. Now IBM Watson is used to help treat cancer, and 90% of nurses who use it say that they follow its guidance. It's tough to beat that one. But next, we have a computer system that arguably took artificial intelligence to a whole new level. In the #1 spot, we have the Google-developed AI, AlphaGo. As the name says, this AI was developed to play the legendary game of Go. Although being more than 3,000 years old, the Chinese game is known as the most challenging classical game for artificial intelligence because of its complexity. Once again, a crazy team from a big company tried to tackle the new boundary or supposed limit for artificial intelligence. Unlike Deep Blue, AlphaGo couldn't use the old method of calculating all or most of the possible future moves. To give you an idea, there are approximately 10 to the power of 115 possible positions for a chess game, but there are more than 10 to the power of 170 in a Go game. That is just too much of a difference. That is more than a decillion times more. By the way, a decillion is... well, I won't bore you with the details. It's just a huge number. The point I'm getting at is that to win at Go, you have to use something difficult to define that many call human intuition. Something not even the best players can explain well, and it is much more difficult to program. Yet, the team at Google were able to create an artificial intelligence that challenged Lee Sedol, the reigning champion that many considered the best player in history. In March 2016, AlphaGo and Lee Sedol played 5 games. The AI won the first game, which was a huge hit for Lee and for all Go players. The second game was the same, and the third one too. AlphaGo proved that computer limits are beyond what we imagined, just like Deep Blue did 2 decades ago. Because human intuition can't be easily programmed, the team taught the computer to play through machine learning. The computer was taught the rules and played against amateur and pro players, receiving feedback on wins and losses. This process continued until it was able to beat the best there is. As if that wasn't enough, there is one bonus AI we want to talk about. The team at Google developed yet another intelligence to play Go. But unlike the first one, this one learned to play by playing itself an ungodly amount of times. The impressive part isn't that though. What is almost impossible to grasp is that AlphaGo Zero played against AlphaGo. Let's remember that the latter had beat the best player in history at the most complex classic game for computers. Yet AlphaGo Zero obliterated its predecessor, beating it by 100 games to 0. We should probably give first place to AlphaGo Zero. If you want to learn more curiosities, learn about the dark side of Walt Disney by watching this video. Now, go live the most shocking of all stories, the story of your life.